So let's just start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I was adopted when I was almost 4 years old. I went through a lot of tragedy before adoption, and so my parents chose to love me so much when I was such a wounded little girl. And so growing up, it really gave me a passion to love on people that had been through hard things. Last year, I had a really hard event happen, and I worked with kids that were very wounded and needed love because they clearly did not have love, and I have a passion to help children that need extra love. And so I went from home to home wherever they needed help, working with younger girls, older girls, and younger boys. I don't know all that happened, but they ended up putting me in an older boys' home where they needed an extra hand. And I got threatened by one of the older boys that he was going to kill me and then he was going to rape me. So it was all written down and given to the company for safety, and because it was a threat, you would think it would be able to be given to police, but in that company it's not allowed. I don't understand why to this day. I really wish it would for safety reasons. So I am a brave person, and I just went on with my day. And in the evening, I got off late, like usual, and I got off at 11:15 at night, went outside to my car, and this kid that had threatened me followed me outside, and he had filled a pillow full of rocks, and he followed me outside and hit me right against my car. And it's really weird that I remember that. It was against my car. And then I remember being on the ground and him whispering in my ear, "I'm gonna rape you." And I remember saying, "Please don't." And he clearly hit me multiple times. I was found 7.5 hours later. It was 47 degrees outside, and I was rained on. Apparently there was mud and blood all over me, and my pants were completely off and thrown to the side. My friend found me and made sure that I was alive and called 911, and as soon as the people came, he went and got a blanket and put it over me. I had hypothermia, and they said when they were getting me onto the ambulance, I was definitely in fight mode and thrashing my arms, and so they ended up putting me to sleep, and I ended up going into a coma.
How long were you in a coma after this happened?
I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I find it interesting because when I was in a coma, I have what I say, a heavenly experience. When I was in a coma, I remember seeing my 2 grandparents that are deceased. And how would I know it was them? I just knew. My grandmother, Grace, I had never met her. She was deceased before I was even born. And my grandfather, Warren, came up to me and said, "We've been praying for you." And then the angels were saying, "Go back down." Because it wasn't my time to go.
And you remember this?
Mm-hmm. So there's bits and pieces of things that I remember. My brain scan, when I was in a coma, they did it, and it was half black. And the neurologist said, "She's probably going to stay in a coma for life or just die soon." And I had a lot of broken bones, a broken cheekbone where they had to put a medical plate under my eye because my eye was completely drifted downward. He shifted my jaw to where I have to have braces now, and I have a crossbite. He also from the impact, it tore off half of my right ear. So they medically sewed it back on and it turned black and began to crumble off. And the nurses were saying, well, we'll probably have to put a plastic ear on it. And people prayed for it everywhere, and it came back. And I have my ear. It's my ear. So I woke up 2 weeks later, and they were like, how is she awake? And so they redid a brain scan, and my brain was completely back to normal.
Within this 2-week period.
Yeah.
Have they seen something like that before?
No. The neurologist actually went to what I want to call a conference, and they showed the brain scans, the before and after, and everyone was like, there is no medical explanation for this. And I actually recently went to a neurologist, and they saw the previous brain scan and came back into the office with me and was like, you should not be sitting here right now, and you're definitely a miracle. So I won't stop pushing forward on that. He's clearly been through trauma in his life. I don't know what it is, but for him to end up living in that facility shows, just like all the kids, they've been through something hard and they need love. And love from God comes through forgiveness. And I just pray for him that he comes to the Lord, because he clearly has got the enemy trying to take him out too, distracting him from the goodness of God. And I look forward to the day that I can say to him that I forgive him, and when the time is right, telling him about God. So
That's amazing.
Something else that I will say is I didn't think I was ever going to be lovable again. I thought I'd be single for life. I dreamed someday having a husband and everything.